Welcome back to the AI Daily Brief Headlines Edition, all the AI Daily news you need in around 5 minutes. We kick off today with the latest announcements from OpenAI on their safety strategy. They tweeted very early this morning East Coast time, making sure AI can benefit everyone starts with building AI that is helpful and safe. We want to share some updates on how we're prioritizing safety in our work. We believe that frontier AI models can greatly benefit society. To help ensure our readiness, our preparedness framework helps evaluate and protect against the risks posed by increasingly powerful models. We won't release a new model if it crosses a medium risk threshold until we implement sufficient safety interventions. We are developing levels to help us and stakeholders categorize and track AI progress. This is a work in progress and we'll share more soon. Editors note this is, I think, what we got some information about last week with their various levels of AI proceeding towards AGI. This tweet thread continues, however. In May, our board of directors launched a new safety and security committee to evaluate and further develop safety and security recommendations for OpenAI projects and operations. The committee includes leading cybersecurity expert, retired U.S. Army General Paul Nakasone. This review is underway and we'll share more on the steps we'll be taking after it concludes. Our whistleblower policy protects employees' rights to make protected disclosures. We also believe rigorous debate about this technology is important and have made changes to our departure process to remove non-disparagement terms. Safety has always been central to our work, from aligning model behavior to monitoring for abuse, and we're investing even further as we develop more capable models. Now, what's notable to this, at least to me, is that there's nothing new that's actually announced. They frame it as we want to share some updates on how we're prioritizing safety, but there's nothing actually new here. This suggests to me that there was some reason that they felt they wanted to remind everyone of these efforts and put it in a nice, easy to point to place, but not that they had something big and new that they wanted to highlight. As I was wondering about what the reasoning was that might be behind this, it started to pop up on X that a group of 5 senators had sent Sam Altman a note. The note, which was dated yesterday, July 22nd, reads, "Dear Mr. Altman, we write to you regarding recent reports about OpenAI's safety and employment practices. OpenAI has announced a guiding commitment to the safe, secure, and responsible development of artificial intelligence in the public interest. These reports raise questions about how OpenAI is addressing emerging safety concerns. We seek additional information from OpenAI about the steps the company is taking to meet its public comments on safety, how the company is internally evaluating its progress on those commitments, and on the company's identification and mitigation of cybersecurity threats." The letter goes on to ask 12 questions, requesting that information be shared by August 13th of this year. One of the questions that many on Twitter have commented on is this one. Will OpenAI commit to making its next foundation model available to U.S. government agencies for pre-deployment testing, review, analysis, and assessment? Now, it's likely that I'm going to dig deeper into each of these questions in an episode later this week. So for now, I will just note that it seems like there is an increasing moment of scrutiny around OpenAI from the U.S. government, and that might be driving some of this increased conversation around safety and preparedness. Next up, Perplexity is back in the news, although this time not for a funding announcement, amazingly. No, unfortunately for them, this time it's because Condé Nast has sent a cease-and-desist letter to the company. The information reports that Condé Nast, which owns publications like The New Yorker, Vogue, and Wired, has sent a cease-and-desist demanding that Perplexity stop using content from these publications in its search results. This follows a letter last month from Forbes, where Forbes accused Perplexity of infringing on its copyright. Condé Nast similarly claims that Perplexity is plagiarizing its content. It seems that the ire around Perplexity isn't around training data, as that's not what Perplexity does, but around the way that Perplexity's AI summarizes news articles. Now, there are a lot of specific technical details in here around whether and where the bots that companies like Perplexity use to allow publishers to block their crawlers actually work, but ultimately this comes down to this new format for search. It feels to me fairly inevitable that the sort of combination of AI-generated summary plus links is going to be the default and norm in the future, but the path to get there may be littered with a lot of legal battles, proving once again that when it comes right down to it, the only group of people who always win are the lawyers. Moving to some science, a new Google model has, quote, helped make a breakthrough in accurate long-range weather and climate predictions. Writes the Financial Times, using a hybrid of machine learning and existing forecasting tools, a model led by Google called Neural GCM successfully harnessed AI to conventional atmospheric physics models to track decades-long climate trends and extreme weather events such as cyclones. A recent paper said Neural GCM proved faster, more accurate, and used less computing power in tests against a current forecasting model based on atmospheric physics tools called X-Shield. In one trial, they say, Neural GCM identified almost the same number of tropical cyclones as conventional extreme weather trackers did, and twice the number of X-Shields. In another test based on temperature and humidity, the error rate was between 15 and 50% less. One of the things that often gets lost as we debate the big legal and ethical issues of AI is how much it's likely to impact scientific discovery, but that ultimately is going to be the subject for another show. That is going to do it for today's AI Daily Brief Headlines Edition. Next up, the main episode.